Now more than ever, nurses are running away from the bedside. Today with me, I have a remote nurse who no longer works at the bedside. Her name is Beverly, and we are on the What's Tea podcast where we are spilling all things tea in nursing, healthcare, and entrepreneurship. So make sure you guys are subscribed. You do not want to miss this episode. Stay locked in, especially if you're looking for a job outside of the hospital and possibly working from home as a nurse. All right. So, Beverly, thank you for coming and joining us.
You're welcome.
So, you are a remote nurse. Tell us, what is a remote nurse? What do you do? And how did you get here? How did you land in remote nursing for bedside?
Sure. First, thanks for having me here. So, I like to explain first the definition of the word remote. In the English dictionary, it means to distance yourself. I have distanced myself from the bedside, but what is better, I listen and I hear. At the bedside, you listen, but you don't hear. What remote nursing has done for me is to make me tap into my patient more. And I feel as though I'm being more effective at the bedside. To answer your question, I got to the remote side of nursing because I've done the gamut of nursing. I'm a master PPA nurse. I have done bedside, I've done management, I've also taught as a nurse. So I've seen nursing in all
Mm.
its different interdisciplinary, and my specialty is actually med-surg and telemetry. So remote nursing has enabled me to be more able to pace myself in my work, tap into my patient, listen more, and be more effective in what I do in my career.
So, what I heard is that remote nursing made you a better nurse.
I would say so.
I definitely heard that.
Yes.
What are the education and training requirements to be a remote nurse? And can new grads be remote nurses?
So I am going to head somewhere where it's probably uncomfortable for some nurses. I'm going to address first if a new nurse can be a remote nurse. There is never a never. I would not recommend it. You need some type of experience under your belt to be able to be a remote nurse. Now, this is not to say that if you're a new nurse, you're not good at it,
Yeah.
but to be able to hone into the craft of working remote. For example, we're sitting here. I could see a change. If you get tired, if you say, well, actually, I can see it.
Yeah.
With a remote nurse, you have to hear and listen.
Mm.
You can be speaking to a patient and suddenly you hear, I've been a nurse for a very long time.
Yeah.
I can pick up on that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you thirsty?
Mm.
Did you change your medication?
Yeah.
Now, a new nurse, not going to say it cannot be done, but you need some years under your belt
Yeah.
to be able to, because it comes with a different skill set. In
Yeah.
terms of certifications, like I said, I'm a massive prepared nurse. I'm 1 year from doing my doctorate. I might not do it. But I've had a lot of years. I've come from the ground up with this, and it's something I love to do. I love being a nurse.
Yeah.
So, you can have an associate degree, you can have a bachelor's,
Mhm.
but it's a matter of if they're going to hire you.
Mm. Because that's the thing that is so popular right now because everyone is trying to get away from bedside and everyone wants to be remote. The market is so competitive. So you have to have that edge. So
Yes.
let's talk about that. What do you feel like gave you an edge? And then when you're looking at hiring and people being hired and brought into your field, what are the things that make you like see an applicant in the pool and you're like, let me grab them?
The years of experience.
Mm.
Again, not to say anything bad about the new nurse. I want that.
Yeah.
I want that person when you get on the phone or you get on the computer and you see a report coming about a patient, you could immediately say, okay, this person needs to go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
Or let me call their doctor and said, you know what, this Lasix, it's too much.
Yeah.
Change doses. You got to be able to have that because there's no one in the hallway. You can't call for a code. You
Mhm.
can't, like literally say, page doctor 911. You're it. You are it. So I want to see that. I want you to tell me that, you know what? I have done this. So what do you do in a crisis? Because you can have a lot of experience, but something happened, you're running like everybody else.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to stand up when there's a fire and say, okay, direct, here, there, make the right, because you can make a lot of calls,
Mhm.
but are you making the right call to the right person to help that patient who's depending on you
Mm.
to make sure that, they're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So that's my whole thing, getting your experience. I'm big on that.
Yes.
I'm big on that.
So I hear first experience, second critical thinking, which is huge
Yes.
as the things that people need that you're looking for when they apply for these remote roles. How do they translate that onto their resume? Because you know it's AI looking at these resumes now and that are like basically picking these people out of an applicant pool. And how do you relay that again on the resume and then also like in an interview?
So, first thing about a resume, as simple as it might sound, there's a lot of nurses out there with tons of experiences, but we're not investing in a good resume.
Clock it. Well, I paid for professional resume writing service, and it was worth every dollar.
Like you should, because you know what? You can't go the cheap route.
Mhm.
I've seen resumes where I can tell this person what I'm looking at is
Mm.
not who you are. You bring more to the table.
Yeah.
But because you want to sit in your computer and do it yourself, you're not selling yourself. You're in a
Mm.
world where nurses, you gotta sell yourself. And not
Mhm.
literally yourself, but sell who you are. Because you're looking at 10, 20 resumes. And you have to jump out, have to say, oh, okay, you've done telemetry. And also, and I'm not big on certifications. I'll tell you why. You study for a certification exam,
Mhm.
but are you really doing what you study for? Oh, good. Because we all can sit and study for an exam.
Yeah.
That's said.
But it's the interpretation and the implementation. Because if you can't actually do what you study for, you're useless. You're useless in nursing. This
Everyone,
isn't theory.
everyone involved.
Yeah, this isn't theory.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's just, and again, I have to be mindful of what I'm saying. I'm not against certifications or going to higher education, but you also have to, when the fire is running and rolling, and you got to be able to stand up.
Yeah.
And I could count on you. And in remote nursing, like I said, you're in front of your computer,
Mhm.
you're speaking to patients, you're, reviewing charts, you're talking to doctors. You got to be able to fight for your patient. And we're not
Yeah.
talking about that you're in the hospital. You're fighting for Mr. Jones, who has been on the same medication for the last 2 years. That's not working for him.
Yeah.
You got to be able to look at that and say, okay, I've got to change something because doctors are going to challenge you.
Yes. Yeah.
And you think they challenge you at the bedside?
Yes.
Shut them when you, because they think you're just sitting there like looking just cute.
Mhm.
But I'm working.
Yeah.
And when I call you, you can call me back.
Right.
Or have your secretary, call me, like me know what should be done. Because I have a patient that's depending on you to make a decision.
Mm.
So, you also have to stand firm because there's nobody there to back you. There's no nurse manager to call.
There's no charge there. Oh, no nursing supervisor.
None of that.
It's you and the doctor.
It's
That's
you
it.
and the doctor and your computer, and that patient is waiting for a call back.
Yeah.
Or want to know, what's the next thing? Should I go to the emergency room? What should I do next? So, it's not soft nursing.
I think honestly, as a remote psych nurse practitioner, I probably work harder doing remote. It's so hard. People don't understand how hard it is. I think I just make it look good. I think I
We
just make
do.
it look cute.
We do. We do, because I can't tell them all the times like my mom was saying, oh, we work from home. It's
Mhm.
probably easier. And I don't get into explain because she wouldn't understand.
Right.
But it's not. It's,
Right.
we just make it look cute. But we're literally working from the time that they start to, whatever's the end. Sometimes I get up at nights and I go on the computer because I need to finish something.
Mhm.
I need to know, I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to really check this person's chart to make sure that a nurse is going to go out in the community to see my patient. So there is aspects of soft nursing in it,
Mhm.
but soft nursing is like the word demure. What does it really mean? I think soft nursing counts with who you are as a person.
Yes.
Because I've seen nurses who I've been one of those nurses where I'm on the floor and things have fallen apart, but I can
And you're still.
right.
Yeah.
So I think it's where you are in your life, who you are professionally,
Yeah.
um, who you are in your career, how you relate to others, how you view your patient and yourself.
Yeah.
So, it's not soft nursing, it's soft professional.
Well, I think also the term soft nursing is very relative to the person, like you said, because when I hear new grads say like, "Oh, aesthetics is like soft nursing, they want to be in aesthetics," I was like, "How does that make sense?" Because when you're like, I get Botox and fillers. Like the girls know I'm very transparent with that. I get Botox and fillers, and if I think I would literally have a panic attack if my nurse injector was like, "Hey, I had this student with me, or I had this new nurse, she's gonna be injecting you." I would be like, "Excuse me?" Like, and it's such a stressful thing because you have to realize these aren't people who are coming into the hospital with, with insurance or anything of that nature, like, coming for like they're coming for something that is life threatening or life compromising. These are people who are spending their hard earned dollars. You're not getting you don't get free Botox and fillers, okay? You have to pay for it. So these people are coming in and paying anywhere from 2,000 maybe to 5, 6,000. So yeah, they might scream at you. They might get upset if their face is uneven. You know,
Absolutely.
right, so I don't consider that soft at all. You have a very demanding patient subset that there's no room for error, and it's a very high stress environment. I don't consider that soft.
I agree. I really
So
sorry.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, I really don't like the term soft nursing.
Yeah,
I think it should be, well, I'm in a different part of my career where some things are easier because of my experience.
yeah.
Because I think once somebody's life is in your hand, regardless if it's Botox, whether it's orthopedic surgery, it's not soft.
Because people don't realize with aesthetics, your life is in some aesthetics can go very bad very quick,
Absolutely.
and people don't know that.
You could have an uneven eyebrow. It's a lot of things. I
That's
want it.
why that's why when people ask me, "Why do you go to Houston for your aesthetics?" Where else would I go?
I was better in Houston.
I'm only one of one person. Or her business partner. I mean,
Yeah.
they both I would trust Judea as well, but, I mean, I only go to the health lounge. Like,
Like you should. You're entrusting, this is your brand
yeah,
and you're entrusting it.
yeah,
And you shouldn't trust like you should anything with your health, your body, whether it's aesthetics, whether it's, if you want to call it cosmetic, with the best care possible.
yeah.
Because if you go cheap, well, yeah, you have a problem.
The girls sometimes love a deal. They love a good deal, so
There's certain things is not a good deal in my book.
period.
Yes.
So, what
You
I
get what you get. Yes.
that part.
Yes.
So, remote nursing is not soft nursing. Please come here prepared to work.
You have to work. It's not surfers. It's not demure.
Wha
As you
it's not demure. As you so at this point, how long have you been away from bedside, and would you go back?
Okay, so it's a two-part question.
Okay.
This is my second time going into remote, and I've been remote now almost a year.
Mhm.
Would I go back to bedside? Probably back in management.
Okay.
Because I got to tell you, there's one thing about remote, you can isolate yourself.
And I do. Yeah.
Yes, and you've got to have I'm a woman of a certain age, I must add.
Mhm.
So I do need that aspect of being outside.
Yeah.
Whatever outside look like in my categories.
Sociability a little bit, but yeah, a little bit.
So I try to go out, and I know at some point I'm gonna miss, but right now I'm fine.
Yeah.
I would never say never. Um, I might probably go back, but I always like to do things in my own term
Yeah.
and in my own time.
Yeah.
So I'm in that position, I could do that.
Mhm.
I could leave whenever I want to and go back.
Mm.
But for now, no, I'm okay.
So, what are the pros of remote nursing and what are the cons?
Okay, so the pros, like I said, for me,
Mhm.
I'm not only listening, I'm hearing my patient. There's a sense of independence, and I could direct where would I like care to go for my patient.
Mhm.
Also, I can really schedule my work. It's not a hurry.
Yeah.
I've been that nurse where, like, I started nursing over 20 something years ago, where you literally pull a rack of charts and you wrote everything down. Like every patient, you took your own vital signs. Yeah. Yeah, I came from that era.
I'm not my medical assistant.
And I'm talking about the blood pressure the man is manual, not the one that you put on. The manual, yes. I started nurse. Oh, or you did impacted your patient with your finger. You're right. I came from that era. So with that being said, yes, I know. I'm sorry, woman of a certain age. So, with that being said, the pros, I'm in the comfort of my own home
Yeah.
in terms of I don't have to travel.
Mhm.
Can't beat that. What are the cons?
So a lot of flexibility is
Lot
what
of
I hear. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. I could drink as much water as I want.
Go to the
Go to
bathroom when I want.
as I want.
Yeah.
So those that people don't talk about those things, but it's the fact.
Yeah.
I could literally drink as much water as I want. go, if my tea gets cold, I can go and put it in the microwave. I don't have to worry. So the cons are you got to be able to get out because you can really lock yourself in the home and have that work. So you have to have a social life. It's not for if you're an introvert because it can lead to depression.
Yeah.
And people don't talk about that
Yeah.
because if you are an introvert and you're working remote, you're never gonna go outside,
Yes.
and you will know what lipstick to wear.
Yes.
Simple things you can miss. You will know the latest
Mm.
hairstyle. You will know, and I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
I would never be that person.
You be telling them to put the 2008 outfit together, and they be like, what?
I never want to be that person.
Yeah.
The minute I see myself getting there,
Gotta go outside.
I gotta go outside. I want to
Yeah.
be able to stay relevant.
Yeah.
I want to be that woman that when I step out, I step out.
Mm.
You can't just look at me and say, I think she works some more. Why is she wearing that shoe? Or ever, yeah, sip your tea. I don't ever want to be that woman.
But you had the lifestyle that the girlies want. Like, I think everyone wants to work remote, but I think there's so many positives. There's a few negatives. And speaking of negatives, do you think that you make more or less?
Okay, let me address that. I've been that nurse that have made 300,000 a year, 100,000 because of my years of experience and where I want to be.
Yeah.
With this new job that I have, I negotiated.
Mhm.
So I got offered two other positions in another company.
Mhm.
The first company, I come and I tell you what I want.
I know that's right.
I know.
Boundaries and
Yes,
rules.
yes, and
Period.
if you come in my ballpark, we're gonna move forward.
Yeah.
If you way off left field, I'm not even going forward into because you have to respect my profession. And you need me the same way I need you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know you have the money and you want me. So we're gonna negotiate.
Yeah.
So one company definitely I said, no, we're not even moving forward with the interview because the type of money you're talking about, I'm not doing that. The second person, we went back and forth, and even though I had a figure, I had a ballpark that I was going to, but they didn't know that.
Right.
So eventually they came into the ballpark,
Mhm.
and I still declined the job because he disrespected me. He
Mm.
took forever.
And we got too far. You know what I mean? When things have gone too far, it's hard to dial back.
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean?
It tells me a lot about you
Yeah.
because first you're questioning me, and this is just as an African American professional.
Mm.
You need to I'm bringing something to your table.
Yeah.
So you need to sit with me and negotiate with me, whatever
Yeah.
that looks like for you. So I didn't take that job. The job I took right now, I got to be honest, it came in a little lower,
Mhm.
but the question I asked, how much can I grow in this company?
Yes. Yes.
And I could already see it in my last evaluation. I'm already getting to where I came in, what I came in asking for.
Yeah.
So, it's all about negotiating and no pun intended, selling yourself, selling who you are. You just stand up for your degree. Let them know that, you know what, I'm worth it. And once you do that, people want to get to know you.
Yeah.
People want to hire you because you're standing firm in your position. I'm not rubbing my thumbs and saying, oh, no, no.
Right.
So
Like nervous. Oh, should I ask for this?
no, I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
You can either tell me yes or no.
Yeah.
And if you tell me no, I'm going to walk.
But I think it's so key, like with what you just said, because I'm starting to realize that money isn't everything either. Like, it's not just about the salary at the end of the day. It's so many other things that go into that. So what do you think are the most important points for you that when you look at a job offer? Like, what are you looking at besides the bottom line and besides the salary? What else is important to you in a remote role?
I like to ask, how do you retain your staff? Are you punitive? Um, you know, the position I'm interviewing for,
Mhm.
how long did the last person stay there? Because it tells you a lot about the company.
It sure does.
Says, we want to be happy,
Mhm.
but happiness looks different for everyone. For some people, it's the money. I want to be able to go to my higher up and have a conversation. I want to be able to say, you know what, I need help with something, and not be looked at like, why don't you know that? Because I don't know it.
Mm.
That's why I'm asking you. So I want to be able to ask you, what does your company looks like?
Yeah.
What do you, for your staff, how do you treat your staff if someone actually makes them, because we're all going to make a mistake,
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are questions I like to ask in terms of, because I've never been a nurse that jumped around. And I'm not against people
Mhm.
who, do contract or move.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Right.
I like stability. For some reason, I've always been that nurse that's been in the job for 10, 15 years, 5 years. So it's important of where I send my resume
Mhm.
and where I put my license. A very protective of my license.
Because even though you're working remote, I think people don't realize that it's still a risk to you. Like you still can't take a unsafe amount of patients to manage because those patients still need care. They still need someone to look at those charts, make sure that they're okay. So people don't realize like it's still a safety concern too.
And they actually need more care than your patient who is in the hospital because there's available resources right there for
Yep.
them.
Yep.
So here it is. I'm managing 20 patients, and the goal is to keep them safe in the community.
Mm.
Safety means, decreasing the amount of times they go to the emergency room because you know what? There's something that we're missing.
Mhm.
And that's my job to ensure that whatever reason Mr. Jones have gone to the emergency room 6 times last year, my goal is for next year, he go left.
Yes.
I want to keep him stable at home because when he goes to the hospital, it's more money for the company, it's more money for his insurance. And it's
Exactly.
something very simple, like tweaking a medication,
Mhm.
giving him physical therapy in the home, sending him to an outpatient physical therapy.
Yes.
So you're more liable. People think you're home and it's just, no, it's not just that. It's more than
Yes.
that.
Yes. So, what advice will you give closing out to other nurses who want to work remote, and then also tell people if they want to, find you, they want to discuss things with you, they have questions, comments, besides commenting here, which we would love for you guys to comment on this episode. But tell us everything. Tell us all the tea.
Okay, the tea. The tea is very hot in nursing.
Okay.
The tea is very, I love working remote. And even though I said earlier that I don't think a novice nurse should, there is that nurse somewhere who
Mhm.
just have that thing, that instinct.
Yeah.
So this is not saying that a nurse who's only been a nurse for years should not be a remote. You know yourself
Yeah.
and you know what you can handle.
Mhm.
It's all about you. And I've seen nurses who've actually sat in interviews and got themselves that job with a
Mm.
year or 2 years of but you know what? It's you.
Yeah.
Life is about, and not only as a nurse, you as a person, you have to know who you are, your boundaries, and what you can handle.
Yeah.
Don't do it because your friend has been doing remote nursing for 10 years. It's probably for you.
Right.
Yep.
Because your friend might have different characteristics and qualities,
Yeah.
and it works for them.
Yes. And also you have to, like I said, and I'm one of those nurses that I think everyone should get a bachelor's degrees.
Okay.
Because
And you're welcome to that opinion.
yeah, because you know what? The Project 2025, I know that's a whole nother.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be hard for the girls to get a bachelor's degree.
I know.
That's all I'm saying.
And it's also gonna be harder for the girls to get in the job in Magnet Hospital
Yeah.
without the back. So it's
Yeah. It's a
you
double
you
sword
will
stuff.
survive. You're gonna eat, as a girl will say. You're gonna eat.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how well do you want to eat? If you gotta choose a Magnet Hospital or going to California making that.
So you telling the girlies they need to get their bachelor's degree.
Yes. I yeah.
Okay.
That and
I
that
respect it. I respect it.
and again, that's my opinion. Because you don't want to be caught, and I'll tell you why. You don't want to be caught in that bubble where they're no longer accepting associate nurses.
Mm.
I know there's a shortage.
Mhm.
Don't run with that. Arm
Yeah.
yourself.
Mm.
Be prepared for the battle.
Okay.
Because you know what? You cannot come to a fight with your little penknife when they're coming with whatever they're coming with. See, and that is just my opinion. You need to
Yeah.
arm yourself with, I'm big with education.
Yeah.
It's going to get you in places and get you through doors, and it's not for everyone. I know, with the school loans and stuff like that. But, it's just my opinion. Like I said, I advocate for higher education.
Mhm.
But I see what happens in the hospitals. They're asking for more and they're giving less, which is very sad.
They are. The ratios are insane.
Yes, yes, it's very sad. So, remote nursing, I love it.
Mhm.
The good thing about being a nurse, you can literally fit yourself in there's so many different areas you can work in and
Yeah.
different specialties. So, you know, go remote nursing.
Period.
And my Instagram handle is BARAMSAY05.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Beverly. Has been an amazing episode, and you guys make sure you're subscribed because there's more tea to spill next episode. Bye.